to Crypto News Global. I'm your host, Nick Toka. On today's show, analysts who predicted Bitcoin price crash to 89,000 reveals where BTC is headed next. Also on today's show, Papliano urges Trump Bitcoin is good for the U.S. economy over the long run. And in our Ask AI segment, we're going to compare Grok, Chat GPT, and Llama in summarizing a book that I chose. And I'll show you the simplest prompt you'll ever write, one sentence, and we'll go through the result. And we are going to summarize a book called Anywhere the Wind Blows by Jenna Paulette, which I pretty much found online. All this and so much more on today's show. Welcome, Crypto Fam. It's Nick Toka at Crypto News Global, and today is January 14th, 2025. Today we're going to go through our crypto headlines and our news of the day, and we're also going to do a comparison between Grok, Chat GPT, and Llama. And Llama is installed directly on my computer, local model, so there's no servers that it's going out to. It's completely private for that reason, and I installed it with a program called Jan. I'll show you that a little later. For now, let's get into our technical analysis. So we've got Bitcoin pumping today, up almost 3% at 97,000 US. Ethereum up almost 3%, 32.29. We've got Solana up 3% at 188. XRP up 10% at $2.78. XLM following behind as it's a fork of XRP. We've got Doge at 36 cents. Litecoin at $102. And everything pretty much is in the green today. Crypto market cap, Bitcoin is currently at 1.93 trillion, followed by Ethereum at 390 billion, XRP at taking a huge jump from it was into 135 about a week ago, and now it's at $160 billion US. Tether still sitting there at 137 billion. BNB 100. Solana 91 billion. Doge at 53 billion. Cardano number 9 at 35 billion, and Tron making up the top 10 at 20 billion. And the crypto market cap is up considerably today to 3.31 trillion. The Bitcoin dominance steady at 58.3%. XRP making a big jump now at 4.85% of the total market cap. And Ethereum sitting steady at 11.79%. But she keeps losing ground, it seems. There's unlimited amount of Ethereum. There is no limit to its supply, so I know it's the blockchain that makes a lot of things work, but the fact that there is no limit to its supply doesn't hold any good things in its favor. Let's go into crypto bubbles, and yep, everything in the green today. A lot of things up 10%. XRP, Ray up 15%, Kaz up 15%, AI16C up 18%, another AI up 6%, AI Oz, Algorand up 8.5%, a lot of green. Let's zoom out to the weekly, and we've got XDC up 23%, XRP up 20%, Kaz up 20%, XMR Monero up 8.5%. Let's zoom out to the monthly, and we see a lot of red in the monthly. But still, XRP up 15.5%, BGB up 112, Move up 31%, AI16Z up 65%. Crypto Fear and Greed Index, we have Bitcoin right now at a 70 in greed. Yesterday we had a 63, and last week a 70 in greed. And our Bitcoin halving countdown, we've got approximately 1,063 days. I would suggest we go a little more toward the average at on the right hand side here, 1,185 days before the next halving. There are 1,189,700 exactly to mine until the year 2140, when the last coin is mined. And right now there's 170,704 blocks until the next halving, which is estimated at April of 2028. Into our worldwide market cap of assets, we have gold at number one, 18 trillion. Losing a little ground. It was into the 18.5 trillion at some point. Now it's just above 18 trillion. It might be losing some ground on Bitcoin. People might be selling their gold for Bitcoin. Apple second at 3.5 trillion. Nvidia at 3.26. Microsoft at 3 trillion even. Google at 2.3 trillion. Amazon at 2.289. Bitcoin number 7. About 300 billion behind Amazon at 1.923 trillion. Oil company Saudi Aramco at 1.8 trillion. Silver 1.7 trillion. Meta at 1.5. Tesla at 1.2, number 11. And currently you can get 1,024 Satoshis, 1,019 as of this minute for $1 US. And into our US debt clock, we have the US national debt at 36,351,813,000,000 and climbing. And that is up approximately 6.5-7 billion from yesterday. Debt per citizen is $106,907, and we have $323,045 per U.S. citizen owing if the full debt needed to be paid today. Big debt for everybody. So some fun news today. We're going to get to in a second, and once again I want to reiterate the importance of AI. I've been looking at some of the AI altcoins, including I'm seeing that AI16Z has gone up quite a bit. A friend made huge money on that one. I asked AI about which coins to look at in the AI sphere for altcoins. These aren't ICOs, these aren't pre-sales. They actually recommended Griffane, and I didn't jump into it the other day, and it's up 19% today. So it's at about 43 cents, I believe, as we speak. So still a good entry point. It really only was starting point as an ICO was only about 3 months ago, so I might hop in there again. I'm bullish on Bitcoin, and my money's on Bitcoin. And if you want to not risk your money, and I would recommend not risking your money, Bitcoin's been up since inception. If you average it out, it's really 150% per year. So if you just hold on to it, there's a good chance you're going to make about 150% a year. That's pretty damn good. So 90 to 95% of my money is going to go there. And it is worth taking a bit of a risk with some of the altcoins. You see people, jumping up and down. I just made $10 million. I made $20 million. 18-year-old kids laughing it up, $100 million. And they took these risks and they went into these altcoins. For me, and I would recommend the same thing for you, the safe bet is Bitcoin. Take 5%, take 10%, put it in these altcoins, see what can happen. Find some specific ones, read up, do your research, and take a bit of a risk. But don't risk money you can't afford to lose. Don't go dumping your life savings into, an altcoin, because a lot of these altcoins eventually do end up going to zero. If you keep your money in the top three, we're talking Bitcoin, Solana, XRP, you can pretty much be assured that your money is not going to go to zero. There's so many projects around the world that are using those frameworks and those blockchains. A lot of the insurance companies have already transitioned over to smart contracts, electronic contracts, not paper. So, these things aren't going to fail, because then the whole industry won't be able to do their paperwork anymore. So they're good bets. Do I want you all to strike it rich in one of these altcoins? Absolutely, I want you to strike it rich in an altcoin. But play it safe. Don't put your life savings into it. Prudent investing would do the same. If you were investing the traditional way and you're investing in, the S&P, certainly traditionally taking 5-10% of your money and going high risk with it has always been something that a good investor would do, but they wouldn't stake their whole existence on it and get completely wrecked. So I don't want to see anybody out there get wrecked, lose all their money, and I'd like to see them make a fortune and, take $1,000 and make $1 million out of it. That would be amazing. But to do that, you don't want to risk it all. Put your money in the safe Bitcoin. If you have some good thoughts and you have some good tips and you do some research, take 10% for sure. Risk it, but don't risk money you can afford to lose, because you might get wrecked. Let's get into our first story of the day. Analyst who predicted Bitcoin price crash to 89,000 reveals where BTC is headed next. And I'll give you a tip. It's headed up, baby. And he agrees, as we'll see here. Crypto analyst Mad Whale has revealed where the Bitcoin price could be headed next. Having correctly predicted the Bitcoin crash to 89,000, which was last week. Really, it was yesterday. It wasn't a huge crash. It was just a slight correction. The analyst also explained why the flagship crypto current outlook is bullish, which could lead to further gains. Let me just explain that. We're at the point at Bitcoin at the all-time high of 108,000 and change, where 1% is $1,000, right? 2%, when things go up and down now, so this 89,000 they're proposing here, what is that? A 12% correction, 14% correction from the all-time high. And in fact, it was sitting at 95. So going down to 89 is what, a 5% correction? This is not unheard of in the crypto market. You've even seen 20-30% corrections. In fact, historically, there are always corrections on the way up in Bitcoin during the bull run. So let's continue with the story, where the Bitcoin price is headed next. In a TradingView post, Mad Whale predicted that the Bitcoin price could record a 70% gain and rally to a new all-time high of 110,000 US. The analyst explained that the outlook for crypto market is largely positive. He added that there is again a surge in market volume after the usual holiday lull, which often causes temporary price dips. Absolutely, that's in traditional markets and in Bitcoin. Mad Whale, here's their proposed chart, further remarked that this increase signals renewed interest from investors, which is a bullish sign and could indicate rising prices soon. In line with this, he predicted that the Bitcoin price might be on track to hit new all-time highs. From a technical perspective, the analyst noted that the charts show solid support levels. This suggests that upward momentum could continue, leading to his potential gain of 70% for the flagship crypto. And, that's 17% from here. I think he's predicting from the 89,000. Let's do the math. Times, he's saying 17%. 15 grand gain from here would bring it to 105. So I suppose he's talking about from 95,000, approximately 92, 93,000. The analyst company's chart shows that the projected Bitcoin price rally to 110 could happen this month. This prediction undoubtedly provides some optimism, considering the recent BTC crash. Bitcoin dropped to as low as 89,000 yesterday amid the uncertainty in the market. This market uncertainty has been due to developments on the macro side, such as the December jobs data. Following the strong U.S. jobs data, traders predict there will be only one Fed rate cut this year, which is bearish for the Bitcoin price and the broader crypto market and the broader financials market, for that matter, I'm adding in. On the other, Donald Trump's inauguration provides a bullish outlook for the flagship crypto. Trump has promised to create a strategic BTC reserve, which is a bullish for the Bitcoin price, as it could lead to a widespread nation-state adoption of the flagship crypto. And a bullish reversal is already in play. Crypto analyst Jelly suggested that a bullish reversal is already in play for the Bitcoin price. He mentioned that the Bitcoin took out the main downside liquidity and immediately pushed back above 94,000. The crypto analyst added that the flagship crypto is now running into a resistance at its current level with the 200-day exponential moving average and the level it has been struggling with for a while. So all things a go for the biddy, and that's my outlook as well. Certainly going into this inauguration, which is now 6 days away, I expect a pretty substantial pump here in the next few days. And here's our next story and our feature story of the day. Pompliano urges Trump Bitcoin is good for the U.S. economy over the long run, and who can't agree with that? Famed investor and Bitcoin advocate Anthony Pompliano has offered 3 pieces of advice to President-elect Trump to help him become the first Bitcoin president. Repeal SAB 121. We talked about this yesterday. In a video posted January 14th, Pompliano, CEO of Professional Capital Management, outlined 3 actions Trump could take to push Bitcoin prices much, much higher. His first recommendation was to repeal Staff Accounting Bulletin Number 121, SAB 121, which prevents banks from holding digital assets on their balance sheets without classifying them as liabilities. According to Pompliano, eliminating SAB 121 would free banks to hold Bitcoin on behalf of their customers, which could significantly increase demand for the digital currency. Absolutely it would. Number 2. And I've been talking about this for a long time. Establish a strategic reserve. I've been talking about this since the Nashville conference in middle of, I think it was in June. Pompliano's second suggestion was for Trump to make a good on a prior promise to establish a national Bitcoin reserve. He pointed out that the U.S. government already holds approximately 200,000 Bitcoin on its balance sheet. Creating a reserve would involve adding that to the position rather than selling it. It's good for the U.S. economy over the long run for the states to have more Bitcoin, Pompliano said. If Bitcoin is good for individuals or corporations, it's going to be good for the country too. 100%. Change the tax code. Yes, please. Finally, Pompliano urged Trump to introduce tax reform to change the way Bitcoin is treated under the current tax code. Fucking right. At present, Bitcoin is classified as property, meaning that any purchase of goods or services using the digital currency triggers a capital gains tax. Boo! If we do those three things, we're going to see Bitcoin adoption accelerate dramatically. Pompliano said, adding to that, these steps could position the United States as the leader in global digital economy. And I agree 100%. Another story here, we're not going to go through it, but Bitcoin mining showed strong growth in 2024 despite halving, which basically means the Bitcoin miners at the halving date, which was April 20th, 2024, what they earn gets cut in half every 4 years. So their earnings get cut in half. By that, the block reward every 10 minutes, the miner that calculates and wins this Bitcoin reward gets the actual Bitcoin, a portion of a Bitcoin. So that gets cut in half every 4 years. So in 2024 April, this is what happened. So the miners are basically making half as much that they were making before April 20th. However, the price, they keep on mining because what ends up happening is there's less created, which makes it more scarce. And because it's more scarce, the price goes up. So even though they're only getting half as much as they were, the price increase is still keeping them afloat, and they're actually making more money because of the price increase. And that's been very cyclical as well. It just seems to be money in the bank for these guys. We're talking huge corporations. Let's get into our next segment, which I dub Ask AI. So we've done multiple things with AI over the past couple weeks, and what we are going to do today is we're going to take an entire book and we are going to have AI. We're going to use 3 different models today instead of 2 different models. We're going to ask them to summarize these books. Now, to save time, I wasn't about to dictate the whole book or anything like that. So I found a book. It was just something, I haven't read it before. It seemed kind of related to, everyone's life. It's called Anywhere the Wind Blows, written by Jenna Paulette. And it was just a freebie online. I'm not sure how many pages it was, but, I did Control-A, copy, and pasted it into the Chat GPT. I pasted it into Grok, and I pasted it into Llama. So with Llama, so this here is Jan AI on my left screen. It's a downloadable full AI model that runs locally on your computer. The difference is when you go to either ChatGPT or Grok or really any of these large language models or GPTs, generative AIs, you type in a command, it sends your request back to its servers, and then it flies back and puts the answer on your screen or the photo on your screen or whatever you're asking for. The difference with this Jan AI, so it's just simply an app that you download, and the website is jan.ai, jan.ai. You download the software, and then you can then install any, not all of them, but a very good number of the generative AIs or the large language models into this Jan. And it can handle, you can install multiples at the same time and then choose which one you want to actually use. And the models also, the LLMs are free for the most part. The largest one, and what seemed to be the, it was, I think, almost 4 gigs, 3.5 gigs, was the Meta Llama, currently 3.2. And I'm sure if I went back to the website or if I opened up this app a little further, I'd probably find that there's updates. There's updates for these AIs literally every week. So every week things are changing. And, if you think that the current AI does a great job, I'm going to tell you right now, these are the shittiest AIs that we're ever going to see. They're just going to get better and better and better. And literally, there's a new version that comes out every week, every 2 weeks. There's another one that comes out. Update. So it's just going to get better. And it already has. If you guys have been using for a while, you've seen, I'm sure, the improvements. So without further ado, let's get into it. Now, what you do get with Gen AI is the privacy. So Gen AI doesn't send anything, as we mentioned, to the outside servers. So this thing is running 100% on my computer. So when I push play here, my CPU, my GPU, they're going to spin up. I have tested before, and even my camera is going to stop working, so you're going to see all this glitching. It doesn't affect the sound, I've found, but it uses a good chunk of the video card. So I can actually bring up my task manager and give you an indicator of how much this thing's going to use, and it's pretty much everything is what it's going to use. So if we go to GPU here, and as you see, I don't have the best GPU, but it's a hell of a lot better than most people have. It's an RTX 3070 Master. It's pretty damn good. Okay, it's really good. 8 gigs memory. It's a couple years old now, but it's done me well, and there's no reason for me to trade it in. I know NVIDIA just came out with last week their new video cards, and they look amazing, and the price even looks amazing, and I might consider upgrading. But my point is, once I click go on this Gen AI, you're going to see this GPU, you're going to see this CPU, they're going to rock it up to 100% guaranteed. And a lot of things on your computer, expect them to come to a halt. And additionally, it's not as fast as, Chat GPT or Grok or any of the online LLMs, because all you're doing is the server in those situations is what's doing all the work. Your computer's not doing anything. Your computer's got some text, sending it out, do this for me, and then the response comes in. So the server's actually doing all the processing. So it's kind of incredible that with all these thousands of requests that the AIs get literally every second, they're still faster than if I have this thing installed on my computer. And as I mentioned, my computer, kicks butt. I've got, 64 gigs of DDR4. It's a good computer. I built it myself. It's a very, very good computer, right? i5 11th gen. It's a really good computer. So I'm going to go ahead. First thing I'm going to do is I am going to quickly tell you guys what the prompt is that I use. And you can use this. It's one sentence. You can expand on it. But it's basically one sentence. And if you use this one sentence, you can get anything summarized. Okay. And it goes, summarize the following book in 150 words. That's it. Nothing more. I can get fancy with it if I want. I can ask for specifics within the book. I can ask for whatever the narrative is. I can ask for the place. I can ask for, the time period. I can ask for the sorrow, any portion of the book. And if you're, doing English courses, certainly a lot of this can be useful. In this situation, I'm just saying, summarize the following book in 150 words. And then I copied and pasted the whole book. So I'm going to hit play on Chat GPT. I'm going to hit play on Grok. And they've both come back with a response, which I'm sure are both very good. In Her Majesty's Stewards. Let's actually read Grok, because Grok was the winner yesterday in terms of photo. The narrative unfolds with the captain of the airship, Her Majesty's stalwart trumpet of glory, expressing deep exhaustion from their endless journey through parallel universe. From an aerial view of a gray New York City, the story delves into the complexities of exploring these alternate realities, where each version of Manhattan has unique characteristics, like a universe where Greek gods still reign, or one where pigeons are predators. The crew, including a diverse group like green-skinned nymph Hellsman, navigate these woods, collecting artifacts while trying to avoid cultural contamination. The captain, weary and longing for home, is reluctantly drawn into direct contact with the locals of a parallel where their airship is mistaken for a promotional stunt for a science fiction literature. This encounter, both amusing and enlightening, provides a momentary break from the routine of their mission, which involves mapping and preserving the integrity of these diverse realities. The story humorously and poignantly captures the surreal life of interdimensional explorers, bleeding elements of adventure, satire, and the human and non-human desire for connection and home. So you could see how this could be handy, right? You need to summarize it. You're doing some kind of book report. Here's your report. If you wanted more than 150 words, you would say, make it 1,000 words, make it 500 words, whatever your thought is. Another way it's useful is, do I want to go out and buy this book? Do I want to spend my time reading this book? I read a lot of books, but I listen to more books than I read at this point. I do a lot of driving, and in the car, I don't really listen to music as I did before. I just listen to books. So it actually seems kind of interesting. Completely different than the title, Anywhere the Wind Blows. Well, it looks like it's a sci-fi book with an interdimensional twist, which sounds actually pretty cool. Both of these came back really fast. It took just seconds for it to go through all the text and come back. So now we're going to do the same with Jan and Llama. So Jan is the locally installed large language model right on my computer. And forewarned, my computer is going to halt to shit right when I push this go button here. So you're going to see some stagnant video, and I wouldn't be surprised. I know for a fact it's going to take a lot longer. So here we go. I'm going to push and play right now. Starting model Llama 3.2, generating response. And you can hear my fans, my CPU, GPU spinning up, and you can see the CPU usage up here. That's each one of the cores, 12 cores in this processor, and you see it's hitting 100%, and she's not letting go of 100%. Now when we go into my GPU, surprisingly it's still at 20%. I expect that it will jump up, but it didn't. So it's already coming back with an answer, which is interesting. I thought it was going to take longer. And Again, it's coming back with a respectable response. What a delightful tale. This is an excerpt from A Big Ship at the Edge of the Universe by Alex White, the first book in the Stalwart Trumpet series. We're introduced to Captain Isabel Longford and her crew as they navigate their airship through the streets of New Amsterdam, a parallel universe. The captain is a known nonsense leader who's well versed in dealing with unexpected situations. Her crew is diverse and quirky, each with their own personalities and skills. You know what? I actually like the way this is coming back. I'm not quite sure if it heard the 150 word that I asked, or maybe I didn't tell it to do 150 words because she's still typing. Oh, there it is, finished. But some good expression with the response, and you'll see, look, it's finished and everything's going back to normal here. So we are 100% sure that, you know, it's the AI model that cranked up these the CPU usage. RAM didn't really get affected much. In this case, the GPU spiked a bit, but it wasn't insane. It was really the CPU, and it normally is. So all three responses came back. All of them did actually a very good job, I would say. I'm not going to go through reading all three, but I'm going to call this a 33-33-33 tie. And I like the fact that the Jan AI is installed on my computer. Even if you don't have the fast computer, you could certainly try it and see how it works. The benefit is your information is not going out on the internet. No one ever sees your info. It's all local, 100% right on your computer. And I like that. And I use it more and more. I've been using it for months now, both here and at work. The response is a little slower, but they do have equitable responses to both Chat GPT and Grok and other large language models. The shittiest one I found out of all of them is Copilot, to be honest. It comes back with some okay answers for text-wise. Images are just horrible, useless, which is surprising with, you know, Microsoft being such a large company. But there you have it. I think all of them are useful. The Chat GPT, the Grok, you can get them on your phone. You can run Grok right through the X app. You can also download the app, and it's the same thing with GPT. You can download the app. You can run it right through their website, OpenAI. All are functional and all are helpful, and I'm finding it more and more as my go-to compared to a Google search, because there was a point when, you know, there was just a Google search. Well, what do you need to know? Just Google it, right? Everybody knows that too. Just Google it. Well, now just prompt it. Get your response. It's just for you. It's excellent for doing technical investigations too. I use it a hell of a lot for that, and I find that the answers I get back from it are more direct and more accurate than even the developer's website or the, you know, hardware vendor's website. They won't have the answers, which is crazy, but ChatGPT will come back with the right answer. It's just insane how far these things have gone and how much information they've gathered. One day we'll talk about the ugly part of AI, which I'm sure a lot of people are afraid of, and there definitely is potential for an ugly side, but we'll leave that for another episode. For now, remember everyone that money is abundant and money is everywhere. Time is what's scarce, so spend your time wisely. Spend less money than you earn. Don't worry about the Joneses next door. Live your life. If you suddenly make more money, save more money. Don't spend more money, and start saving today. Start saving in your 20s, and that way by the time you're 40, you can retire. And if you have a great idea, Start your great idea today. Don't wait for tomorrow, because if you keep saying tomorrow, tomorrow never comes. Even if you're not ready, start today, and eventually it'll come together. If you found this stream enjoyable, please share, like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you on the next stream.